Hello and welcome to News Central TV. I'm Darshan Usman. The top stories this hour. Governor Soludo emerges as APGA flag bearer as George Moghalu clinches Labour Party ticket ahead of Anambra governorship election in November. Nupeng Pengasan warned against external recruitment of top cadre as new management takes over at NNPCL. And Senegalese President Bassirou Diomaye says efforts to reintegrate Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger back into ECOWAS unsuccessful. Now let's begin in Anambra State, where the governor of the state, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has been nominated as the flag bearer of his party, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, for the November 8, 2025 governorship election in the state. The incumbent, who was returned unopposed, polled over 300 votes during the primary, which held in Awka on Saturday. Now, voting was concluded for the delegates from all the 21 local government areas in the state to either tick yes or no on the ballot. After the voting exercise, votes were sorted and counted. Announcing the result of the exercise, the chairman of the electoral panel, Uche Nwegbo, said that the total number of the delegates for the primary was 3,260. In the meantime, George Moghalu has emerged the gubernatorial candidate of the Labour Party in Anambra State. He polled a total of 575 votes to defeat John Nwosu, who scored 19 votes. A total of 601 delegates were accredited out of 649 elected from the wards, with 597 votes cast and 5 declared invalid. Chairman of the party committee, or the primary committee, Itana Bene, says he has faith in the ability of the party to win the gubernatorial candidate. The winner of the primary, George Moghalu, also expressed joy at the way the exercise ended and urged the party to work together for their common success at the poll.
From Inewi North local government area, having satisfied the requirements of the law, the Labour Party constitution, and primary election guidelines, is hereby, I repeat, is hereby declared winner and is returned elected as the party's candidate, flag bearer, for the November 8, 2025 governorship election.
We have said in and out of our rooms that we want to bring change. And that change starts from tomorrow morning. We must go to work. We must set our agenda. We must reach all the nooks and crannies of this state to let the people know why we decide to take this position. To sell the party to them so that they can join us in our desire to create a new narrative, in our desire to change the story of this state. Because Anambra is a blessed state. Anambra has all what it takes to be the #1 state in this country. We are not lacking in human and material capacity. What we need to do as a people, as a government, is to create a learning environment for our people to thrive.
Now we have our correspondent, Chinwe Ogele, joining us and now for more updates. Chinwe, you have closely monitored, this process from beginning to its end. And now that George Moghalu has emerged a gubernatorial candidate, what can you tell us about the process and his emergence?
Oh, well, thank you very much. It was quite a smooth process, because before today, we understood that a number of the aspirants had already withdrawn from the race. So it wasn't going to be much of a contest between him and any other candidates that may still be around the corner. So, but eventually, some people still voted for the last aspirants who supposedly also withdrew from the race last night, as we were meant to understand. But then I would tell you that the process was quite seamless because people queued, got accredited, and then went into the hall where the voting would be taking place. And when it was time for voting, there was also another kind of accreditation where everybody had to, queue up according to their local government, and they were accounted to just to make sure that it is the same number of persons that were accredited that were also queuing up to vote. So the process was quite seamless and quiet because the delegates sat all through, even the INEC officials, everybody monitored, and there wasn't any form of rancor here throughout the period.
Okay, so what about the fact that George, Mugalu came out as the gubernatorial candidate? Were there people that were opposed, to this?
None. There was no opposition. There was no dissenting voice, even though some 19 votes were given to John Nwosu. People applauded his emergence. People didn't storm out of the venue angry. Looked as if people already knew what was going to happen. So there wasn't much of, I didn't witness any disappointment or disagreement with the outcome of the primary. It was quite peaceful, and it ended a while ago, and the whole place is already cleared out. That is to tell you that they accepted the process. Ordinarily, by now, you would see some people hanging around and, arguing and making trouble, but that is not the case. Everyone has left the venue. And contrary to also some speculations that some persons might begin to have parallel primaries like we usually have, even in other states at a time like this with some political parties. That has not been the case with the Labour Party here. Remember yesterday there was a Supreme Court judgment that brought kind of confusion within the party. But today they all came together as one to vote in order to elect their candidate for the November 8th gubernatorial election here in Anambra State.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that update, Chinwe.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, the APC delegates for the Anambra State Governorship primary election have raised concerns over the extended delay in the process of electing a candidate to fly the party's flag in the November 8, 2025 governorship election. News Central correspondent Austin Azu, reporting live from Awka, the Anambra State capital, had an interactive session with a diverse group of party loyalists who freely expressed their thoughts.
For me, I can say I'm confused. I'm confused. But we are here for APC primaries. Since morning we are here, and the way I see things going, I can't understand exactly what is going on. But the only thing we know is that we are already here for the primary, and whatever the situation may be, I think we have to see the end of it. Because today is the D-Day, and it does not take us by sudden. It's a day that is well fixed. And I hope that the people that are supposed to come for these primaries are already within. But I don't know what is withholding to them to start the something. But whichever way, we are here already, and we have to see the end of it.
We have been waiting since yesterday till this hour. Nothing is going on. I don't know exactly what is the problem.
Yes, we are sure. That's the normal thing. The delay is normal.
Correspondent Austin Azu joins us for more update. Austin, the last time we spoke, if you can hear me, Austin. Hello, Austin, are you there?
Yes, I'm with you. I can
All
hear
right,
you.
yes. Well, the last time we spoke, you talked about you spoke to a few people, and they talked about how they would still wait, and there has been a delay. And we just heard one of the delegates that you spoke to saying that whatever time it takes, that they will still be here waiting. It is meant to happen today. It was scheduled today, so the election will definitely take place today, no matter how long it takes. So talk to us. Has the election process started, and what exactly is the reason for the delay?
Okay. Of course, it's about 11 minutes past 6 o'clock, and we are still at the venue where the accreditation for the exercise is ongoing. The exercise is bid to take place about few kilometers away from here. Of course, they need to enter a vehicle that will convey them from this place to that location where they are going to cast their ballots. However, we will have some respondents here to talk to us about the process. I have Kingsley IK to share to us why the delay. Okay, please talk to us why the delay. We are still here from morning till now.
Not necessary delay. It's usually the delegate election process. We'll finish delegate here after the distance here before we move to the final points, which we're about leaving now to go and do. It's not quite a delay because of our guests that came in from Abuja.
All right. In Anambra State here, we saw other political parties conducting their primaries, and they are quite done with it. Why that of the APC delaying? And of course, we saw some people who are grieved already. Some of them have staged a walkout from this place. Does it really mean well for the party, the APC, going into the election?
They are not grieved. Just like you said, you reported. It's a normal thing in politics when they come for delegates, for a delegation election. A lot of people will agree, a lot of people will not agree. But you have to disagree to agree and to come together and to settle it. I think it's a very successful one. I don't see anybody being angry. In politics, once you see that they are defeating you, or they are defeating you, you won't be happy because you have spent a lot. But we will resolve it, and we'll come together and we'll work as one party, APC. And we'll move forward. Thank you very much.
All right, we have the former Deputy Speaker of Anambra State, Mike Ogwa. All right, please, do you foresee that your party will be going into the ballots, be united ahead of the governorship election in Anambra State?
Yes, I have no doubt about it. We have not been disunited in an election. As a matter of fact, the exercise is being seamless. It's been free and so transparent, and I believe at the end of the day we'll come out so united and fight as a common front to challenge the governor of Anambra State. And basically, I'm telling you, I know that we're going to win this election.
Okay, there's one particular place where we heard about some delegates where they are having the accreditation kind of disrupted. Can you bring us to speed what happened over there?
I am not aware of any accreditation process being disrupted. You understand? There are bound to be skirmishes. Normally, these people can disagree, but the exercise has been so seamless. As you were talking about delay, this is a great party. This is not a small party. Normally, a great party of this nature, you don't start the process, the electoral process in the morning. There are other things that must be agreed upon, before this exercise will go on. And it has started. Already there's been a seamless accreditation. You understand? The delegates are now moving to the venue of the election. The exercise will be so transparent and free. There will be, at the end of the day, anybody that loses the election will know actually that he lost the election. You understand? So we also will come more stronger, will be stronger even after the election, because this is the first election APC is becoming the party to beat. This is the first election in Anambra State.
All right, quickly, we have three aspirants going for this exercise. The delay, can we attribute it to a fact that you are putting your heads together to come out with a so aspirants?
Not actually. These aspirants are all on the ballot. none of them have stepped down. They are all on the ballot. Not really going to have a consensus. We already said they will be voting. At the end of the day, a candidate will emerge. You understand? And all of us will line behind the candidates to win this election.
Okay, let's talk about.
It's not a question of consensus. There was not. I don't think there's. As far as I'm concerned, there's no meeting of that nature. Do you understand? Going on.
Let's talk about the safety of the delegates.
Yes.
It's almost night. Nightfall is here already.
Yes.
What is the guarantee for their security?
Let me tell you, in the history of APC, even PDP, most of the delegates' elections are conducted at night. Like if you look around the venue of the. If you look around that revenue of the primary election, the security architecture presently in that place is quite unique. People are protected. They will have enough security personnel that will guide people. There will not be any issues. There will not there will be any threat. There won't be any threat. No, and the delegates will be well protected. I don't think they will have any problem. Aside of the venue, even along the road, you will see clutches of policemen and security agents on the roads to make sure that even after voting, when the exercise is closed, people can get back to their hotels. And understand. Thank you very much.
All right, because of what of time, okay. Of course, we'll be waiting to see the outcome of the primary election as we see the delegates filing out in their numbers to start moving down to the venue for the primary election of the APC here in Anambra State.
All right, well, thank you so much, Austin, for that update. And with that, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll tell you how Nupeng Pengasan warned against external recruitment as new management takes over at NNPCL. Details of this and more after the break. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, and the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASAN, have asked the newly appointed Group Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Bayo Julari, to resist the temptation of filling top management positions with external recruitment. The two unions, while congratulating the new GCEO and the newly constituted board members, said staff members should be promoted from within. They noted that any plan to fill top management positions with external recruitment should be stopped immediately. Our President Bola Tinubu had on Wednesday appointed Ojulari to replace Melekiari as GCEO, while Amadu Musa Kida was named NNPC's non-executive chairman, replacing Pius Akinyelure. In the meantime, stakeholders from oil-producing communities in Bayelsa State have commended Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited, that's PINL, for its community-focused approach to surveilling and protecting the Trans-Niger Pipeline, which spans across Niger Delta. At a recent stakeholders meeting in Yenagua, Bayelsa, PINL, the agency responsible for securing the pipeline, reaffirmed its commitment to safeguarding critical national oil facilities under its watch, ensuring their protection at all costs. News Central correspondent Biola Festus has details.
The Trans-Niger Pipeline is Nigeria's primary crude oil transportation channel, spanning across communities in Niger Delta states. With the pipeline laid in communities, it is imperative to incorporate locals in the monitoring and surveillance process for optimal efficiency. Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited, PINL, the surveillance company overseeing the Trans-Niger Pipeline, is engaging in regional stakeholder meetings to align interests and develop strategies for safeguarding Nigeria's crude oil resources beneath their soil.
We have been able to ensure zero infraction on the pipeline, and we pray that the support will continue so that at the end of the day we'll be able to reduce environmental degradation in our communities, same way we will help to increase crude oil production and provide more revenue for the federal government.
Present at the meeting are traditional rulers, youth leaders, women and stakeholders from Awka, Southern Ijaw and Yenogwa local government areas. Acknowledging some concerns raised by community representatives, the management of the PINL pledged to strengthen its communication approach as well as community engagement strategies.
In the course of recruiting our surveillance guards, we give 100% to the communities where the pipeline traverses, and we have gotten over 100% support and cooperation from the communities.
By its renewed stakeholders engagement approach, PINL demonstrates its commitment to transparency and cooperation. Participants in the stakeholders meeting expressed satisfaction with PINL's operational model, marking a positive step towards effective pipeline management and community partnership. Marking a positive step towards effective pipeline management and community partnership.
We are in a crucial period following the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. However, we should not take things for granted in the security of oil facilities in our domains. We have to protect our pipelines and oil platforms.
The corporate social responsibility is not highly pointed out in their PowerPoint. The academic side of the company is not well sound to my hearing. You mentioned bursary. How is bursary distributed? Who are the beneficiary of the bursary? Who are the target people in your bursary?
Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited, please also do your correspondent to the federal government, to NNPC, that they should address the people of the Niger Delta concerning the PIA. If that is not done, I can tell you that they are exposing the credibility and integrity of your company to danger. And one other thing that must be taken, the pipes we have around our backyards are obsolete pipes that have been there for over 50 years, 40 years, and then they ask you to come and mine the same pipe.
Shell, Agip, Chevron, and the rest production companies we see that truly get the bulk of the money on account of oil production, we don't see them. What we see here is pipeline infrastructure and perhaps Tantita. The whole effort is geared towards them addressing issues that should have been done by the NNPC or federal government itself.
As the old saying goes, a man's head cannot be shaved behind him, emphasizing the importance of involving locals in decisions affecting their communities. This collaborative approach aims to protect Nigeria's crude oil wealth and address concerns raised by community representatives. In Yenogwa, for News Central, Biola Festus.
Now we head to Lagos State, where the driver and conductor of a BRT bus have fled after the vehicle caught fire at Maryland, Lagos on Saturday morning, abandoning passengers who narrowly escaped injury. The bus, which had been en route from Ikorodu to CMS, went up in flames shortly after smoke was seen coming from the driver's side. Passengers initially believed the smoke was from nearby vehicles, but the situation escalated quickly, prompting them to evacuate. Emergency responders, including the police, fire service, LASMA, and local security officials, have arrived at the scene to contain the fire. Meanwhile, a passenger confirmed that no one sustained injuries, but alleged that the driver and conductor fled immediately, claiming they had prior knowledge of the bus's faulty condition. In a related development, a tragic accident involving a 40-foot containerized truck has claimed one life and injured 5 others along the Sele Expressway in Ward Oshodi, Lagos. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, confirmed that the truck, which suffered brake failure while speeding, lost control and dislodged its containers onto 5 commercial buses and 2 private vehicles, killing a pedestrian, while one bus driver sustained multiple fractures. Lasam bus has evacuated the injured to Isolo General Hospital. LASMA, alongside LASEMA, FRSC, and the police, has led a swift rescue operation and restored traffic flow. LASMA's General Manager, Olalekan Bakarioki, extends his condolences and urged truck operators to conduct regular brake checks. A full investigation has begun, with officials emphasizing strict adherence to traffic rules to prevent future tragedies. Let's also tell you that the Lagos State Police Command has alerted officers about a planned nationwide protest on April 7th, 2025, organized by the Take It Back movement and other groups. The protest is geared towards addressing the misuse of the Cybercrime Act and the ongoing state of emergency in Rivers State, demanding the repeal of the Cybercrime Act and an end to emergency rule in the state. Now, the police have, however, raised concerns over potential disruptions, as intelligence reports suggest that some groups may hijack the protest to incite violence. Security measures have been heightened around critical installations, with a focus on preventing mayhem and ensuring public safety before, during, and after the protest. The police have also pledged their commitment to maintaining law and order and ensuring the smooth flow of traffic. Away from that, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has frowned at the size of land allocated to the University of Abuja by previous administrations. The minister, during the inspection of road construction and rehabilitation works within the federal capital, says that the institution does not have the capacity to develop the entire landmass and thus has deprived private citizens and developers from maximizing the use of the lands. Our correspondent Joshua Marai reports.
It started as an inspection of key access roads at the Wasa area of the federal capital, and then to the access road leading to the EFCC Academy.
We're going to see those projects that contractors have assured us that will be completed and will be inaugurated during the President's second year anniversary. We were in Ossex, 15 kilometers leading to Wasa, which is being done by CGC, and you can see for sure that they have still said that they are going to be ready. Here now we are to the road into the EFCC Academy, which is being carried out by Levante, and you have seen the contractor said that it will also be ready by May ending. We're very happy with what we are seeing and the quality of job that has been carried out. We believe, to the glory of God, that Mr. President will also be happy when it comes to inaugurate these projects.
The minister frowned at the extent of land allocated to the University of Abuja, expressing concerns about its size and the university's inability to develop the land.
This will also open our eyes as to the kind of land that the university has acquired. I mean, it's not acceptable. You can't deny development. I don't know where a university will go and take over 1,000 hectares of land. For what purpose? We've been to universities, we have gone around to schools. You hardly can, I mean, just the grabbing of land is not the voting. It's just for development purpose. And we have been told that the police was also giving here. And nobody's carrying out any development. Well, let's see. Because of this road now, what will happen? May that attract people to come and develop their properties.
It says that the roads inspected will be commissioned as part of President Bola Tinubu's second year anniversary. In Abuja for News Central, I am Joshua Imarai.
Now let's head to Kano State, where residents of Ungwan Liman, Sarari, Bachi, Masallachi, and Durba, all in Kibia, Garko, and Rano local government areas, have called on the Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, and other privileged citizens in the state to ensure that the bereaved families of the slain hunters in Uromi, Edo State are adequately compensated. Now, some of them spoke to News Central television crew who had visited the communities, alleging that the hunters lost over 3 million naira to the incident, as many of them were robbed before they were killed by the angry mob. News Central's Emmanuel Bagudu reports.
Our investigations on the roots of the slain hunters in Uromi, Edo State, took us to Reno and Gerku to meet the families left behind. Many of them are still in pain and continue to bear the loss of their loved ones.
Yana da mata. Shi dai aikin sa neman kuɗin wannan farauta ita ce abincinsu. Wata uku kenan da yin wannan aure. Yaran nan ko me isa mu gidan nan shi zai kula da mu a cikin gidan nan. Ni kuma tsakanina da yaran nan bai taɓa safa mini ba.
Sun yi mana hidima fiye da inda ba ka tunani. Azumin da shi ya mana abin da muka yi saboda ni ban fita ba. Mun ji daɗi da Allah ya saka mu da alheri. Allah ya biya shi alahira. Abin da yi mun gode.
Mu ma aka yi musu haka a kashe su biya kuma abin da za su ciyar da waɗannan marayu su ma kuma san samu ne a watsa su. A ta mun da hankali.
Isiaka Dutse and his wife lost their son in the ugly Uromi incident. He left behind 2 wives and 9 children, a situation that has put his parents in a state of confusion.
An kashe mini shi, shi ne gidanmu, shi ne zai ci da mu, shi ne zai sha da mu, shi ne suturan mu.
We also identified the family of Bala Haruna, who also died in the attack, leaving an uncompleted apartment being built for his wife, 4 children, and widowed mother.
Kari yana da hali mai kyau tun da shi ko irin hulɗanin mata abokai bai iska yin ta ba. Idai zai fita, in ya fita kuma ba ruwansa da kowa, zai je kuma zai dawo duk lokacin da ya abin nan. Ba ruwansa da abokai haka.
Some community members who spoke to us say that the extent of damage done to family members left behind have not been adequately expressed by the media. They called on the Emir of Kano to ensure justice for the deceased.
Ina ga muku ina ƙara nanata muku cewa da kai faroro na abin kawo yanzu wallahi sun mutala mun sami kiran waya fa 100. Shugabannin mu suna da sanin cewa babu ƙauye, babu lungu, babu sakon da aka shiga babu mafarauci. Idan muka yi niyya maraki ta ƙasar nan billahi da cikin daren nan an gama da ita. Amma muna biyayya gare su kada su yarda a kai matakin da za su ce mana mu ce ba za mu ba, su ce mu bari mu ce ba za mu bari ba. Saboda haka muna kira ga shugabanninmu dole ne su tashi tsaye su kwato mana haƙoƙinmu, haƙoƙin yan uwanmu. Ana ta magana har yanzu ba a gama magana akan irin girman zalunci da aka yi mana ba. Har yanzu ana magana ne kawai akan ran dan adam. Muna da rahoto da muka tattara yan uwanmu suna tafi da kuɗi akalla kimanin naira miliyan 30. Wannan a wurin mutum ɗaya ma an karɓi kuɗi sama da naira miliyan 3.
And those words from Haruna Ilyasu, those seems like a purgation of emotions, sums it all in the demands of those affected by the killings in those states. And the demands is very straightforward. They want government to marry what its actions, they want compensations being paid, they don't want to have any feeling of injustice or politics, to avoid any reprisal, to avoid any provocation. In Kano for News Central, Emmanuel Bagudu.
Now, the Nigerian police force has officially invited the 16th Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, for questioning in relation to a clash that occurred during the recent Eid al-Fitr procession in Kano. Reports say that the invitation follows a deadly incident that occurred on Eid Day as the Emir's entourage moved from the Eid prayer ground to the palace in a traditional procession. The clash, which marred the otherwise peaceful celebration, led to the tragic loss of life of a vigilante member, Surajo Rabiu, and left 1 other injured. Security agencies had earlier placed a restriction on Durbar activities during the Salah period due to safety concerns. But despite the directive, Emir Sanusi reportedly led Durbar processions and paid a visit to the Kano government house, attracting large crowds. However, the entourage was in cars as against the traditional horse ride. Prior to the police invitation of Emir Sanusi, a 20-year-old man, Usman Segiru, from Sharifai quarters, was arrested for alleged involvement in the killing and assault of vigilante members within the Emir's entourage. The Emir has been requested to appear before the Force Intelligence Department in Abuja opposite the police headquarters, Area 11, by 10 a.m. on Tuesday, April 8, 2025. Now let's head to Oyo State, where Oba Abimbola Owade has been crowned the 46th Alafin of Oyo. Owade succeeds the 45th Alafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, who died on April 22, 2022, at the age of 83. The coronation event took place at Olivet Baptist High School in Oyo, where Governor Seyi Makinde led a host of dignitaries, including notable Nigerians. Dignitaries present at the coronation include the Olubadan of Ibadan, Oba Owolabi Olakunleyin, the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, the son of Ogbomosho, Oba Gandhi Olaole, Oluo of Iwo, Oba Abdurrashid Akambi, and Are of Ona Kankanfo of Yoruba, Iba Gani Adams, among others. How can Nigeria and the African continent leverage innovation to power sustainable growth? Now, this is one question some African leaders are trying to find answers to. Some are of the opinion that initiatives beyond limits with digital innovation and creative excellence will connect key players in Africa's tech, business, and creative ecosystems. They say that the key is providing platforms for founders, investors, and policymakers and industry leaders to exchange ideas, foster collaboration, and drive economic growth. Take a listen.
Digital innovation and creative excellence has been a game changer, curated to foster community, spark collaboration, and drive collective action. Now, the mission is to equip Africa's innovators with the tools, knowledge, strategies, and networks needed to scale into new markets and expand across the continent.
From the United States perspective, we really believe there's lots of opportunities here in Nigeria. We're very excited to be partnering with the people and the businesses in Nigeria. And one of the things that we're very excited about is the commercial and investment partnership. You know, there's only 5 countries in Africa that we have this with.
Panel discussions provide deep insight into how companies can successfully navigate regional expansion, overcome market-specific challenges, foster cross-border collaborations, and leverage cutting-edge technology to seize growth opportunities.
This event is very important in bringing stakeholders together, to work together to create, things that are concrete and produce results for the greater good. There's no question that Nigeria is very well positioned, but people need to actually, take advantage of that position by making, pulling us together.
One of the things we find is that the ecosystem is a little bit fragmented or siloed, and there's a lot of benefit in bringing key stakeholders together, because if we're to accelerate growth, the different parts of the ecosystem have an important role to play. There's a role for innovators and startups, there's a role for investors, there's a role for business leaders, there's a role for policymakers to create the enabling environment. And that's what DICE is trying to do. Create a platform that brings all these key stakeholders together so that we can accelerate growth in the country and across the continent.
Leading the conversations are seasoned industry experts and thought leaders. The end game is to bridge gaps, empower ecosystem, and co-create a future that reflects the bold vision of Africa's brightest minds.
Coming up after the break. In a bid to curb illegal migration, Tunisian government dismantles camps housing undocumented migrants. We'll tell you more in a moment. Join us again. Away from Nigeria, Senegalese President Bassirou Diomaye Faye said that he had done everything possible to reintegrate Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger back into the economic community of West African states ECOWAS, but his efforts have been unsuccessful. The 3 Sahel nations left ECOWAS earlier this year, accusing the bloc of being subservient to France and ineffective in the fight against jihadism. These countries have since formed the Alliance of Sahel States, distancing themselves from France and aligning more with Russia. Faye, appointed as ECOWAS mediator, shared in a 4-hour interview that he had urged dialogue to preserve regional unity, but acknowledged that the sovereignty of the breakaway nations. Now, regarding Senegal's relation with France, Faye emphasized that Paris remains an important partner, but Senegal is negotiating the withdrawal of French troops from its territory by the end of the year. Tunisia has dismantled camps housing thousands of undocumented migrants from sub-Saharan Africa following a social media-led campaign against their presence. Now, the camps located in the eastern regions of El Amra and Jebeniana had housed around 20,000 migrants. Authorities cleared one of the camps with approximately 4,000 migrants leaving, some dispersing into the countryside. Now, health authorities have stepped in to assist vulnerable individuals, including pregnant women and the sick. In other news from around the world, protesters have rallied in Paris, Place de la République, mainly American nationals, to oppose U.S. President Donald Trump's policies. Now, this move, a wave of global protests. This follows a wave of global protests with thousands gathering in Washington, D.C. and other cities across U.S., marking the largest demonstration since Trump returned to the White House. Rallies have also taken place in capitals like Rome and London. Organized by left-leaning groups such as Move On and Women's March, the protests express growing resentment over Trump's conservative policies, his government downsizing, and his economic moves. In Washington, a major protest near the White House has drawn Democratic figures like Representative Jamie Raskin. Despite global pushback, Trump dismissed the protest, stating his policies will not change as his approval rating hits new low. In business, the development and growth of fintechs in Nigeria has played a major role in efficiently filling financing gaps by eliminating the need for physical banks and reaching millions who were unbanked. However, there is a continuous need to continue to grow and support these sectors so as to reach the natural resource value chain, which encompasses energy, agriculture, and minerals. Finpreneur Ejike Egwagu highlighted the pressing demand for financial solutions that comprehends the challenges faced by SMEs in Africa's key industries.
The beginning of the understanding is that in Africa, banking doesn't really work. That's the beginning of the thesis that we have. It doesn't really work. It creates bigger banks, but doesn't create bigger borrowers. And it's not the bank's fault. It's more structural. It's about the way our economies are set up, the way our currencies are structured, as opposed to other global currencies, and other defects that our markets have. So what that means is that if we really want to make a dent in the problems of our continent, we have to create a different type of financial institution, which is half bank, half operator.
In the world of sports, as the African Women's Club Volleyball Championship hits up in Abuja, Botswana's Spiking Stars coach, Tabot Lale, has expressed appreciation for the warm reception received from the hosts, Nigeria Customs Service. Speaking during live updates on our weekend sports show In the Game, Tabot praised the hospitality and organization of the championship, which has brought together top volleyball clubs from across the continent.
So good, we can't complain. We've been welcomed very well. The hospitality is good. The Nigerian Customs Service has really gone out to really make us at home welcome. They've given us quite good facilities to stay in. They are really taking good care of the tournament so far. The organization is excellent on top of every technical matter. So I would say we are enjoying Nigeria.
Well, that's all at this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of our top stories. We told you that Governor Soludo has emerged as APGA flag bearer as George Moghalu clinched Labour Party ticket ahead of Anambra governorship election in November. We also told you that Nupeng Pengasan have warned against external recruitment of top cadre as new management takes over as NNPCL. Finally, you heard that Senegalese President Bassirou Diomaye Faye has said efforts to reintegrate Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger back into ECOWAS unsuccessful. Remember, you may send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Do you follow us on social media? We are at New Central TV. You can watch New Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV and YouTube.